Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well. Let's talk about Android security. It's more important than ever. We use our phones for everything, banking, shopping, even controlling our smart homes. That means a lot of sensitive information is just sitting there. Hackers know this and they're always trying to find new ways to exploit vulnerabilities. Think about it. What happens if someone hacks your banking app? They could drain your account. Or imagine if they access your smart home controls. They could unlock your doors and disable your security system. That's why understanding Android security is crucial. It's not just about protecting yourself either. If you're a developer, you have a responsibility to build secure apps. The last thing you want is for your users' data to be compromised because of a security flaw in your code. We're going to dive deep into the world of Android penetration testing. We'll explore how hackers think and the tools they use. More importantly, we'll learn how to protect ourselves. Android has some built-in security features. One of the most important is sandboxing. Each app runs in its own little sandboxed environment. This limits the damage an app can do if it's compromised. Think of it like this. If one app gets infected, it can't easily spread to others or access their data. Then there's the permission system. When you install an app, it asks for permission to access certain features or data, like your camera, contacts, or location. You can grant or deny these permissions. Always be careful about what permissions you give. Does a simple flashlight app really need access to your contact list? Probably not. Android also uses something called Selinux. It's a security enhancement that provides even more granular control over what apps can do. Selinux enforces mandatory access control policies. This means even if an app is compromised, Selinux can prevent it from accessing sensitive data or performing unauthorized actions. These security features work together to make Android pretty secure. But no system is perfect. There are always ways around security measures, and hackers are constantly looking for them. Every Android app has a special file called androidmanifest.xml. Think of it as the app's blueprint. It tells Android everything it needs to know about the app. This includes the app's name, icon, the activities it uses, and most importantly, the permissions it requires. Why is this important for security? Because the androidmanifest.xml can reveal potential security vulnerabilities. For example, if an app requests more permissions than it needs, that's a red flag. It could be a sign that the app is up to no good. Security researchers and penetration testers often start their analysis by examining the androidmanifest.xml file. It provides a quick overview of the app's potential attack surface. By understanding how to read this file, we can gain valuable insights into an app's security posture. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we know about how Android apps work, the better equipped we'll be to identify and mitigate potential security risks. You've probably heard of rooting or jailbreaking. These terms refer to gaining root access to your Android device. In simple terms, it's like getting administrative privileges. It lets you do things that you normally couldn't do, like install custom ROMs, remove bloatware, and tweak system settings. Sounds cool, right? Well, it can be. But it also comes with risks. Rooting or jailbreaking your device can weaken its security. Remember those security features we talked about? Rooting can sometimes bypass them, making your device more vulnerable to attacks. Plus, some apps might not work properly on a rooted device. They might detect that your device is rooted and refuse to run. This is because they're concerned about security. So, should you root or jailbreak your device? It's a personal decision. Just be aware of the risks involved. If you're not comfortable with the potential security implications, it's best to avoid it. Section 5. Sharpening the tools Burp Suite, Drozer, and Frida. Penetration testers use special tools to find vulnerabilities. Think of them as digital lockpicks. Let's talk about a few popular ones. Burp Suite, Drozer, and Frida. Burp Suite is like a Swiss Army knife for web application testing. It intercepts traffic between your device and the internet. This allows you to analyze and modify the data being exchanged. It's great for finding vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Drozer is specifically designed for Android testing. It lets you interact with the Android platform and apps at a low level. You can use it to find vulnerabilities in apps and the Android system itself. It's a powerful tool for assessing the security posture of Android devices. Then there's Frida. Frida is a dynamic instrumentation toolkit. That means you can use it to inject your own code into running apps. This allows you to analyze their behavior and find vulnerabilities that wouldn't be detectable otherwise. These are just a few of the many tools available to penetration testers. Each tool has its strengths and weaknesses. The best tool for the job depends on the specific target and the goals of the test. If you need a detailed video on these tools, please write in the comments below. Section 6. Under Attack Code Injection, XSS, and MITM attacks. Let's talk about some common attack techniques. Understanding how these attacks work is crucial for defending against them. First up, code injection. This is where an attacker injects malicious code into an application. Imagine an app that lets you enter your username. An attacker might enter a special string of code instead of a username. If the app isn't properly protected, this code could be executed. This could allow the attacker to steal data, modify content, or even take control of the device. Next, we have cross-site scripting, or XSS. This attack targets websites and web applications. It tricks a website into sending malicious code to a user's browser. For example, an attacker might find a way to inject JavaScript code into the comments section of a website. When a user loads the page, the malicious code could steal their cookies, hijack their session, or redirect them to a malicious website. Finally, we have man-in-the-middle, or MITM, attacks. This is where an attacker intercepts communication between two parties. Imagine you're connecting to your bank's website. An attacker on the same network could intercept your connection. They could then eavesdrop on your communication, steal your login credentials, or even modify the data being exchanged. These are just a few examples of the many attack techniques used by hackers. By understanding how these attacks work, we can take steps to protect ourselves. Section 7. Shields Up, defending your Android device. Now that we know what we're up against, let's talk about defense. How can we protect our Android devices from these threats? First and foremost, keep your software up to date. Software updates often include security patches that fix known vulnerabilities. Make sure you're running the latest version of Android and keep your apps updated too. Be careful what you install. Only download apps from trusted sources like the Google Play Store. Be wary of apps from third-party app stores or websites. They might contain malware or other malicious software. Pay attention to app permissions. Don't grant an app more permissions than it needs. If an app asks for permission to access sensitive data or features that it doesn't need, think twice before granting it. Use a strong passcode or biometric authentication. This will make it harder for someone to access your device if it's lost or stolen. Avoid using simple passcodes like 1234 or password. A strong passcode should be at least 6 characters long and include a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. These are just a few simple steps you can take to improve your Android security posture. By being proactive and taking steps to protect ourselves, we can make it much harder for attackers to succeed. Section 8. The never-ending battle for Android security. Android security is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process. Hackers are constantly finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities. That's why it's important to stay informed about the latest threats and defense strategies. One way to stay ahead of the curve is to follow security researchers and organizations. They often publish blog posts, articles, and research papers about the latest threats and vulnerabilities. They also share tips and advice on how to protect yourself. Another great way to learn is to attend security conferences and workshops. These events bring together security experts from around the world to share their knowledge and experience. You'll learn about the latest attack techniques, defense strategies, and tools of the trade. The world of cybersecurity is constantly evolving. New threats emerge every day. By staying informed and continuously learning, we can better protect ourselves and our data. Section 9. Learning never ends. Resources for the Android Defender. So you want to learn more about Android security? That's awesome! There are tons of resources available online and in libraries. Websites like OWASP and SANS Institute have a wealth of information on mobile security. You can find articles, tutorials, and even free online courses. If you're more of a bookworm, check out titles like Android Security Internals or The Android Hacker's Handbook. They dive deep into the technical details of Android security. Don't be afraid to get hands-on. You can set up your own virtual Android environment and practice your penetration testing skills. There are even online platforms that offer Capture the Flag or CTF challenges specifically designed for mobile security. Remember, the best way to learn is by doing, so go out there, explore, and never stop learning. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.